Have you seen this iconic logo on my channel? Well, if you haven't, let's talk about that in this week's video. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel A Review, and this is your boy Akiko. In this week's feature, we will have something special from Jerry Lorenzo. This is the Nike Air Fear of God Noir, or commonly known as the Triple Blacks. And with that said, let's get into it. The Triple Blacks retail for $350 in Philippine peso, that's 17,495. The shoe was released on June 5th alongside with the White Summit and the Air Zoom type Black Menta. But originally, Jerry Lorenzo was actually supposed to release the shoe on Valentine's Day, so I don't really see the connection of having the color black and Valentine's Day, but Jerry Lorenzo had that in mind. But it's a good thing it did not release. The reason why it was not released because this shoe was actually leaked out and Jerry kind of did not like that, so he decided to release it on June 5th later. This shoe features an all back out element. The cage alongside with the laces, even the swoosh and bladder atop blend into one another. Synthetic textiles, toolings, and everything in between, and not to mention the double air bubble cushioning system. Let's now go unbox the shoe. So as you can see here, it has a giant orange box. And if you look closely, it may look like a square, but it actually is a rectangle. So it's like this on the inside. So as you can see here, this was actually a purchase from Titan. When we open the bag here, we can see that it is a Fear of God bag. We have here something. We'll get into that later. And now for the shoe. So it's covered in this orange tissue. And we have these two silver things over here. This is where the shoe is. Let's go have a detailed look on those later. Let's just put them out. Let's keep them aside. And let's now have a detailed look on the parts of the shoe. And now let's have a closer look on these shoes. Let's look at the details of the Fear of God. So as we can see here, it's covered in a kind of foil-like covering. So this one right here is the left pair. This is the left Fear of God over here, as we can see. Let's put it here. Let's now go for this one. This obviously is the right one. Here. So as I've said earlier, we have these things over here. So it's shaking. So let's go open it. I don't really know how. Should I break it? Here. It's over here. So let's see what's inside. Ooh, this is nice. So as we can see here, we have the hang tag of the Fear of God. And over here it says Air Fear of God. And we have here some lace locks. So we have here a kind of pink lace lock. I'll show it to you close up. Can you see it? There. It's pink. There's nothing written on top. Oops. But there's stuff written on the bottom of the lace locks. It says here, Air Fear of God. If you can see that, there. And this one does not have the Air Fear of God, but it is technically semi-translucent. So that's it for this part over here. And now let's focus on the bag. So this is the Air Fear of God tote bag. I'd say this is pretty nice because it's actually kind of thick. And when you look at it close up over here, you can see it has the wordings Air Fear of God. Here. I'll have it shown close up. There. And over here, we can see Nike's swoosh. And when you look at the inside, it's actually this kind of material over here. So it's actually pretty nice to have. In addition, when you buy the shoe, so it's already inclusive of this thing over here, the hang tag, and the lace locks. I actually think if they have a clear lace lock, it would actually go better. But meh, it is what it is. And over here, when you look at this thing, it has its own lace lock already. This is a matte lace lock, so it's different from the other one. The other one is semi-translucent, and this one over here it isn't. And now let's get into the shoes. We have here the left pair. So the left pair looks like this close up. There. So this is what you call the TPU cage over here, and it's kind of like a triangle shape here. And this material over here is the textile material, and this is the neoprene over here. This is actually a reflector type of material. And as we can see here, we have the double air bubble, so it's very comfortable. Some reviews actually say that this shoe is very much comparable to the Ultra Boost, but I'd say the Ultra Boost for me is kind of better. But in terms of being safe, this shoe is the shoe you'd want to get. It also features here a zipper. Let's go open that. And this part over here is what they call the reverse tongue. So the reverse tongue over here is actually this material over here. Some people actually think but this is nubuck, but I don't think this is a nubuck material. And behind the tongue over here, it says Air Fear of God, and their Air Fear of God, then it has here the size M13 or women's 14.5. Let's go to the other shoe. The other shoe is exactly the same. Exactly the same. Here, this pattern over here, it also resembles the old Fear of Gods. And it also comes with 2 extra laces. As you can see here, it comes with a white lace, a sail white lace. This is 2. And this is the oatmeal lace. This is also 2. Let's now try to get the insoles of this shoe. So this is the shoe 3. So the insoles are actually color orange. Here, this is what the insoles look like. So there are some numbers over here. I think the number over here means Jerry Lorenzo's grandfather. And it also has the size tag over here. I'll have it closed up so you can see it. Can you see it? There. And this is the detail of the insoles of Jerry Lorenzo's shoe. So it's actually pretty unique because people say that this shoe is very much comparable to the Ultra Boost, but the question is, if this one is so thin, how it will be comparable to the Ultra Boost? Well, I'll show you why. If you can see the inner parts of the shoe over here, it's actually a bubble-like thing on the inside. The thing inside is actually very soft, and I think it's a new type of cushioning system. So Jerry actually had something special with Nike when he did this, because this is the first time that I've seen Nike did something of this kind. Because Nike usually, when they make collaborations, Nike usually just makes shoes from their old models and the collaborators get to redesign the shoe. But this one is actually very different because this shoe was designed from the ground up by Jerry Lorenzo himself. Let's have this cool hang tag checked out close up because I did not have the opportunity to show you this close up. So this is the Air Fear of God, and on the back we have this swoosh, and over here at top we have the numbers, and then we have here the purpose of this shoe. This is usually made for winter, as it says here, WNTR and then 18. And here, I'll show you this close up. This is the lace lock over here. This is what it looks like. So as you can see, it is semi-translucent. So there's two. And this one, the pink one over here, for me it's kind of an infrared, a light infrared. This is what it looks like. It is somewhat semi-translucent. And on the back, we have here the wordings, Air, Fear of God. Oops, sorry. Thank you. And now let's look at the bag again, close up. So it's actually very thick. So the bag, when you buy it, I'd say you're going to love the bag as much as I do. And for the box of the shoe, because usually the box is very normal for Nike, but they made something quite unique on this box. Can you see this reflector thing over here, the Fear of God? Can you see this? Fear of God. And then Nike placed a swoosh over here, if you can see that. And we have here the label. So the label is placed on differently. So this is a size 13. I'm going to talk about the sizing later and the fitting of the shoe. So that's about it for this part now. Let's have a montage of the Nike Air Fear of God Noir. As you can see over here, I have some shoes laid out for you. So these are two of my personal collections. This one over here is the Kobe 9 Christmas. This is a size 13. There. And this one over here is a Fear of God low. This is the Fear of God moccasins. I actually got this from Japan. And if you're asking, this is a size 12. And this is why I brought these shoes out in comparison to this one. So this one is a size 13, same as the Kobe 9s over here. The reason why I got a size 13 on this is because the reviews say they're actually okay to get through the size. But some sources say that it's actually supposed to be taken a size up or half a size up on these. I've told you earlier, this is a size 12 because the fitting of this shoe is actually very, very wide. So it literally does not have any support whatsoever. It's just basically the outsoles and the shoe itself. And it's actually magnet. Focusing on this shoe over here, let's put this aside. Why did I brought out the Kobe 9s? How does it relate to this shoe? So I'm going to tell you why. So as we can see over here, this shoe is actually way higher than the Kobe 9s. As you can see the height difference over here, it's actually an inch higher from this shoe, from this standpoint. So that's the only reason why I brought the Kobe 9s out. And furthermore, this shoe is actually one of the highest basketball shoes created by Nike. In comparison to the other models that Nike made, it's way higher than the Jordan 1s for obvious reasons. As you can see here, the Shroud, Jordan 28. I think this is also higher than the 28s. But in related manner, this one over here, the Fogs, is actually way higher compared to all the basketball shoes designed by Nike. And this was actually specially designed by Jerry Lorenzo for basketball. So this is actually a luxury type for a basketball shoe model. In my opinion, this is one of the best basketball shoes Jerry actually made because from the other colorways, it's actually not quite easy to rock, but having a dark colorway, as in literally having a black shoe, you won't have the trouble of having it match at all. Let's now talk about the resale value on these pairs. So as you can see here, this is a size 13. The size 13 on StockX is going for $456 US in Filipino peso. That's roughly around 23,000 Philippine peso in a size 13. And the best-selling Fear of Gods are the Amarillos. So those of you who does not know, the Amarillos are actually the yellow and white versions of this silhouette. It's actually going for 1,790. In Philippine peso, that's roughly around 87,000 Philippine peso. So it's actually very, very far apart from the price of this because the Amarillos actually came very, very much earlier compared to this. This was actually a 2020 release. The Amarillos were actually a release, I think, way before. So let's now have another market in comparison. So GOAT's actually selling these way higher. So I think if you're a reseller, you might want to consider GOAT. GOAT actually pays well based from what I've seen. And let's now go to another one, which is eBay. So eBay, the highest one that I've seen went for 48,000 Philippine peso, and the lowest was actually 24. Compared to the Philippine market price on these actually currently goes for roughly 22,000 Philippine peso. So eBay is an okay choice for your Fear of Gods because usually people lowball, but if you know, you know. So that's about it for the market resale price. And to the resellers out there, these are great cops. If you have them for retail, you can sell them way higher. And so that's about it for the resellers. And for the users, I'm going to tell you, if you don't have Ultra Boost, you can have these. They're actually way more expensive, but yeah, they are worth them. If you enjoyed this video of the Nike Air Fear of God Noir, or commonly known as the Triple Black, please like, share, and subscribe. To those of you who has not yet subscribed to my channel, please I urge you to subscribe to my channel. Why? You are helping a local sneakerhead out and a YouTuber out. 2. I'll be having some more heat in the future. So this is an example of the heat, the Fear of God Triple Blacks. And to those of you who does not know, this is extremely hard to get. So a few percent of the population only gets to have these shoes. And guys, I'm also telling you that I also would like to hear from collaborators out there who are watching this video. If you want to collaborate, please collaborate with me. I am just here. Hit me, give me a DM or whatsoever you want. And so that's about it. So play well, style well, and wear your sneakers.